everyone, it's Danielle Taylor with Keller Williams Realty here on the beautiful Outer Banks. And today is Stats Day. Woohoo, my favorite day. Super excited. This information will take us through March 31st of 2023. And as always is courtesy of the Outer Banks Association of Realtors. Before I dive in, I have to show y'all my shirt. I don't know if you can see it. It says buy sand, Sandbar Living, buy sand. Get it? Super fun. Anyway, let's dive in. I thought I would lead off the discussion today with pricing, because that tends to be a topic that people talk about a lot, and they're really interested in how the market's doing in terms of pricing. So let's go ahead and dive in. So both the median and the average single family residential sale price are down about 11% for median and 10.5%, so about the same for average sale price. So those are down year to date over last year. Just a quick reminder, the difference between median and average and why we want to look at both. The median is the midpoint where half of the set of numbers in the data set are above and half are below. So in terms of sale prices, half the homes sold above this midpoint, half sold below. The average is the sum of all those prices divided by the number of numbers in that set. So if there was 15 homes that sold, you'd add up their sale prices, divide by 15. That number, that average sale price, can be dramatically skewed by some outliers, like extremely high sale prices or extremely low. So it's really important to not take that one in absolute. You got to really look at both and make sure that you're getting a clearer picture. We tend to look more at median just because it tends to watch that midpoint and where it's going. So anyway, we're down overall. What I want to share with you, though, is it's really interesting when you dive into it by town, because overall looks down. However, Kill Devil Hills is actually up almost 3%. So their prices have risen almost 3% year to date. And Duck, get this, a whopping 20%. Their prices have risen, a median sale price has risen a whopping 20%. So it's really important to understand where you're looking and what you're looking at. Another really interesting data point when it comes to price is monitoring that list price to sale price ratio. So how are we trending? So overall, year to date, we sit at about 97%, which is down from 99% where we were last year, okay, in 2022. So down, that list to sale is down a little bit. However, Duck is actually at 101% of list to sale price. So really important to know. And Kill Devil Hills is trending higher than the average at 99%. So again, be really conscious of what town you're looking at and what the data is looking like there. The gap between the buyer and seller expectations, we talked about this in the last stats video where we were saying, the buyer and seller expectations are still a little bit out of line. And that continues to be reflected. We saw about 40% of the homes that sold in March had a price reduction before doing so. And that's up substantially because last March it was about 18%. So, we are still seeing that gap between buyer and seller expectations. Inventory. So let's talk a little bit about inventory. Overall, inventory was up March over March, okay? However, March's inventory was down over February. So we're still in this sort of up, down, left, right thing. Interesting note, our 3-year average for inventory, single family, is 610. That's the average over 3 years. Right now, we're sitting at 356. So you see that's a huge delta. So our inventory is still a challenge. New inventory coming on the market also remains challenging. March was down, just checking my numbers, 38% over March 2022. So new inventory down. And of that inventory that came on the market in March, 58% of it is already sold or under contract. And those properties had an average days on market of 8 and a median midpoint days on market of 5. So it's really turning fast. Still lots of activity, still lots of people looking. Interesting, in those properties that were in that 58%, 32% of those disclosed that they had multiple offers. And I say disclosed only because that field in our MLS is an optional field, so the agents don't have to fill it out. But 32% of them did disclose they were in multiples. So still showing the activity. Just a note again on inventory, same as we talked about on pricing, it really depends on town. So we've got a really wide range of available inventory. So a low in Kill Devil Hills of about half a month's worth of inventory to over 4 months worth of inventory in Collington. So again, be really specific about what you're looking at. The last little tidbit I thought I would share that I thought was interesting was, are these interest rates affecting how people are buying? Are we seeing more cash buyers in our market? And we're still sitting at about 21%, which is exactly where we were last year. So 21% of the sales are cash buyers, which means 79% of the sales are still getting loans, even with the interest rates. So that doesn't seem to be impacting. So overall, my big takeaway is, we are seeing some price compression. We are still seeing that gap between buyer and seller expectations. I feel like as we start seeing these price adjustments and as that gap narrows, we have the buyer activity. So we are going to move through some of the shadow inventory. So for my sellers, don't be afraid to get on the market. Don't be afraid to call and see what your value is. And for my buyers, when you find something, jump in. We're still seeing places where prices are appreciating. So this is a great time to buy. Anyway, as always, don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any of these updates, and make sure you're getting my newsletter that comes out monthly, because there's a lot of data in that newsletter that I don't put on this YouTube video. It's already long enough. So anyway, hope you have a great day, and remember, buy sand.